Hello and welcome back to my channel. On my last video, we made these dolls. I showed you how that I make these dolls, and that was part one. So now I'm moving on to part two, and that's going to be dressing the dolls. So I'm going to show you what I've done so far. I just took some of this lace, has some gold threads in it, pretty lace, and I made a hole at the top, and I just kind of put it over her head, kind of like a tunic. And then I decided that was cute, but I wanted more of a sleeve. So I just kind of pushed up those edges, and I took this lace and I stitched a seam on my sewing machine. And then I gathered the top edge of it, and then I secured it up underneath there, and then I pulled these back over. Okay, so that's where I'm at so far. Let's see what we're going to do next. Okay, let me show you what I have done so far. I had this lace right here, so I just cut off two of these little motifs out of this lace, and I attached those to the top of her sleeves, and then I put some of this trim across here and across here. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Okay, I wanted to show you this. This is an ivory silk. It's 100% silk. It came from a dismantled wedding gown that I took apart. This is parts of it too. It was just covered with this gorgeous trim. So I plan to use all of this. But I sewed up a tube here. There's my seam. And then I ironed it. So here's my tube. I did a very narrow 1/8 inch hem down at the bottom. Now I'm going to gather the top, and this is going to be the beginning of her skirt. Okay, so as you can see, I'm doing this without a pattern, so there's going to be a lot of trial and error, and that's okay. So I made the silk skirt for her, but I decided that I want it fuller than that. So all I'm going to do is lift this up, and I'm going to put this skirt underneath it, and this is sparkle organza. So I just sewed up a tube the width of the fabric, and I've got my strings here for my gathers, so I'm just going to attach that up underneath this skirt. Okay, so let's look at what we've got so far. So now she has this thick sparkle organza like petticoats up under here, and I just took my pinking shears and cut the bottom edge of that little petticoat, and I did leave it sticking out because of course I'm going to have all kinds of lace and things hanging down there. So now we get to the really fun part, and that's going to be decorating the skirt. So let me pull some supplies and see what we're going to do. Okay, so I decided to add some more of this dark brown lace because I want to make it look a little more cohesive, pull it all together. And I did add one row of another kind of a beigey color lace around the bottom. So let's keep going. Okay, so let me get all this out of the way. I added the brown on the front and the back, and I did go back and add one more lace, one more row of lace here to this bottom side. And now I've got this trim, and I'm just determined to use it. Let's see, there's the right side. And I'm thinking about just adding it right around that edge there. I think that'd be so beautiful. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so now I have that row of lace attached to the bottom of her dress, and I think I'm going to work now with some of these little appliques and maybe cut them apart and attach them in different places. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this applique applied to the front, and then I put a piece of this lace, bottom lace here around her waist and fiddled with that forever, and I'm still not completely thrilled with the way it came out. It didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. But anyway, all right, so I'm going to keep decorating. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just pulling out some appliques and some ideas, just some different things that I have. I just ironed them all good and flat, and I'm going to decide what goes where. I think I've decided this one is going to look really good right there. See? So I think I'm going to apply that one. I might move it up just a hair. Let's see what I think about that. Oh gosh, this whole thing is turning out so pretty. All right, so I'm going to apply that. I've also got these little motifs here, and I think I'm just going to cut out the flowers and then attach them randomly around the dress. So this is a very easy cut, easy to do. This is some coffee dyed things that I've done. So I put this on the back of the dress, that little swirl. Here's the front again. So I don't know, I'm thinking about maybe just, I don't know, where would you put them? I could put one here and one here. It's going to be, yeah, that's probably what I'll do. Okay, so I've got the flowers stitched on there, one on either side, and I put one at the bottom here. So now I think what I'm going to do is start adding pearls and rhinestones and just frou-frou and everything up. And as you've noticed, I have not done the face or the hair yet. I'm saving that till last because there's so much fiddling with the doll. I don't want to mess the hair up once I get it done. This will not be a toy, of course. This will be a collector's item doll, so I don't want it to get messed up. So anyway, I'm just going to keep decorating her dress until I think that's enough. Okay, so I've got these little rhinestones here that are all welded together. Well, I don't know if you'd say they're welded together, but they come on a chain like this, little rhinestone chains. And I just put some fabric glue around the circle of this flower. And so all I'm doing now is getting them situated the way I want them in there. There we go. Wait a minute, let's fix that one right there. So I'm going to do that to the middle of each of these little flowers. Okay, so I've got these little Swarovski crystals, flatbacks, and this lace has little circles in the top part, and I have decided to put just the tiniest little dot of glue inside those circles, and then I am going to add one of these crystals. Oh, careful, careful, kind of down in that little circle on the lace. Uh-oh, I got two. I'll put one there and just kind of push it down into that little circle. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and make sure that it adhered very well. That one I don't think is down in there as far as I want it to be. There we go. So I'm just going to do that to each one of those little circles around. Okay, now I've done that all the way around, and now I think I'm going to add a crystal on each one of these little peaks of the lace right here and right here. And I'm going to get my little crystals. These tweezers are, well, that didn't pick up, but they usually pick up pretty well. It's the kind you use for nails, for nail art. I have a whole set of tweezers in all different sizes and shapes, and this one works pretty good with rhinestones, little tiny, tiny. And these are the Aurora Borealis Swarovski flatbacks. They're my favorite. I absolutely love because they have so much bling to them. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not. I'll hold that up. You can see all that beautiful sparkle. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, so I have pulled out these little flat back pearls that have the ruffles around them, kind of a, not ruffles, but it looks like they're beaded around them, but it's really not. And I am going to add those. I'm just working with the pattern in the lace, and I'm going to add these to those circles right there in this lace. So, and these circles go all the way around. All right, it's sticking to my finger. So I'm just going to add those in that circle all the way around. And then when I'm done, I'll decide what to do next. Okay, so I added these pearls on these 4, and then I decided to add a tiny flat back on those 4. And now I am going to put some more of the rhinestone chain in there to just pull it all together. It's got a lot of decor to it. And that's the way I wanted it. Heavily embellished. That's me. I like that stuff. All right, now I'm going to wait for a second, let that dry, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the back side. Okay, so now we have that done also on the back. So here is the front again. And she is really looking lovely. Now, I think I'm going to leave that alone. I did add a stone here, here, and here. I don't know if you can see them in there. They're kind of down in the little hole. So I'm just going to kind of look around. I may add a little something here or there, but for the most part, I think she might be done as far as her dress. So that's going to be the end of part 2. Part 3, I'm going to do her eyes and her hair and her hat, and if she's going to have a hat, don't know for sure, and then any last minute embellishments. I know I want to add a little necklace here to her, and I'll probably give her some bracelets or something. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and be looking for part 3. Have a great day. Bye-bye.